Hello everybody, Lila's Gigi here, and today I'm going to bring you Wish Upon a Star by the Looming Artist. She has some awesome designs on her account. Let's hop on over there. Come on, there we go. Anyway, it's the Looming Artist. Her name is Andrea. She is a fibromyalgia warrior and very strong lady. She has some awesome designs on her account. Just go take a look at them. Some of her older designs are just, I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, see how far I can get. They are just beautiful. I mean, look at this. That is the Zodiac bracelet. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Today, though, and those are pretty wide. Today I'm going to show you a 5-pin bar that she has done. It's beautiful, and I was going to bead it, but all that dust on there, all this dust in here, that is loom dust, what I call it. Anyway, this is the setup. Drop down the center and up, and the two sides are both the exact same. I like to do this smaller bracelets because not a lot of people have, a lot of looms. So 5-pin bars, people are more apt to do this than a 7 or 9-pin bar. I just like them because they're super easy for me. They don't take hardly any time at all. Watch this thing take a half an hour because I'm talking. I have been so chatty today. It's unbelievable. So this is your loom layout. The middle pin is at the bottom, and they go out, so up and out, and then the same height. Okay, so this is what that looks like. Now I have done this already, and I did it in a color combination that I absolutely do not like. My sister likes it, so she can have this. I think this gray is throwing me off. There are not enough bold colors. It's too muted. So it happens to us. It happened to me. This is actually the first time that I did not like, and this is the back, that I did not like a color combination that I came up with. But like I said, my sister likes it, so I will certainly give it to her. I had this set up in my mind, how it was going to look, and it doesn't look anything like I thought it would. And also, I use these bands, and I don't really like the way it feels. So I'm going to go ahead with the cylindric bands this time. Yeah, so that's the back. One thing you need to know is that this is how it comes off the loom. This is the top of this loom, not the underside. So the signature side is the top. So if you want to bead, and I had chosen not to because for the sake of the tutorial, but if you want to bead any of these, and I'll say if you wanted to bead these 4 bands right here, you will have to lay everything, and then as you're looming it up, you'll have to, before you loom it over, you'll have to thread it, put your bead on, and then lay it. Otherwise, they won't show up on the top. It's just too hard to push things through on this because it's a little snug in there. Okay, so yeah, that's my sister's bracelet. Was not happy with that color combo. So we're going to try something a little bit different than that. I'm going to go ahead and use the black cylindric first. So I'm going to lay a closure band, and then out to the right diagonal, straight over to the right, and straight up. So you could bead these if you want. Again, I didn't because you'll still have to push them through to get them to come to the signature side. So go ahead and lay your perimeter bands all the way up. When you get to the top, you'll stop 1 pin from the top. They'll go across and then down. Okay? So go ahead and finish that, and I'll finish mine, and I will be back with you. So I am back, and I laid my perimeter bands across and then met them down here in the middle. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do are the side bands. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the white that came with the mint and then the mint. So first pin bar, first pin, diagonal to the right, and then you're going to take your other color and just do a cross band. Okay, so from there, diagonal to the right, and then your cross band, and diagonal to the right, and then your cross band. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just going to mirror that. I was looking for my little card. I have a card that I use that actually helps me when I push these down. It saves on my cuticles, but I don't know where it is right now. So, last pin bar, first pin, diagonal to the left, your cross band, whatever color you choose, diagonal to the left, and then your cross band. So go ahead and do that all the way up to the end of your loom, and I will be back with you when I finish mine. Alrighty, so I am back, and I laid these cross bands here and the diagonals up towards the center. Okay, and this is what your loom should look like. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to lay Starburst in diamonds. So, middle pin bar, second pin up, diagonal to the right, down, diagonal to the right, straight up and down, pushing those bands down, diagonal from the center down to the left, up to the right, and then straight up. Okay, so anyway, I'm hoping that this color combination comes out better because that last one was really, really bad for me. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a diamond. Okay, and again, like I said, if you want to bead these, you would have to lay all your bands first and then, whoops, drop down diagonal to the right and diagonal up to the left. So let me go through that with you one more time because I was busy talking and not telling you what to do. Excuse me, instructing you what to do because I never tell anybody what to do. All right, so from your Starburst, you'll go up, diagonal to the left, and diagonal to the right. You can do it that way, or you can do diagonal and then straight up because the end result is the same. So lay these two diagonals from here, diagonal up to the left, up to the right, go back over here, diagonal in towards the center to the right, and in towards the center to the left. Okay, and then you'll lay your Starburst again. You'll skip up one pin, diagonal up to the right, diagonal down to the right, straight up and down. Oh, got two bands there. And pushing the bands down. And you will not need cap bands for these because we're going to do a single chain up the center. Okay, diagonal up to the left and then straight up, and then do your diamond again like you did down here. So follow that pattern all the way up to the end, and I will meet you back here when I'm finished with mine. So I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid the Starburst here, and then I went out and finished my diamond right there. And this is what your loom should look like. Okay? Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we are going to lay hexagons around this, but we are going to ignore these two right here. And I think, oh goodness, I think I'm going to use the white for this, the off-white I guess it is. So second pin bar, first pin straight up, diagonal up to the right. You'll drop down the second pin bar from the right, you'll go straight up, and then to the left. Okay? And I did find my card. It doesn't matter what it is. I just use this, I don't know, the Dana on Mission Bay. I don't even know where I got it from. But it helps to push down your bands and save on your cuticles. So, of course, I'm not doing it very well right now, but it does work and it's quite efficient. So, excuse me. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to skip over the diamond and we're going to go to the bottom of your Starburst, center pin, out to the right, straight up, diagonal to the right. Okay, I'm going to go over to the other side and do the exact same thing, but mirror image. from that pin where your bottom of your starburst is, diagonal up to the right, straight up, whoops, straight up, and then from that pin you're going to go diagonal and to the left. Rewind that if you have to, but put that around every single one of your starbursts, okay? And I will be back when I finish mine. Okay, so I am back, and I did hexagons around each of my starbursts, and this is what your loom should look like. Now I was trying to decide if I wanted to use black or white in the center. I know I used a lot of white and I have black on this side, and I was going to try to tie it in, but you know, I think I'm going to just leave it the way it is. So our last step here is to take your center pin bar, first pin, and just lay single chains all the way up the center, just like that. And when you get to the top, put a cap band on that last one. Okay, put a cap band on your last pin. I got a hair in there. Alrighty. I'll have to get that out of there. I think I got it. Alright, so lay your single band straight up and then put a cap band on the last pin, and I will be back with you and we will loom this up. Okay, so I am back, and I did my single chain up the center, and I put a cap band here, and you will also need a cap band on 2 and 4. Okay, so we're going to turn this around. Oh, well, here. This is what your loom should look like. And now we're going to turn it around. Okay, so for this step, all we're going to do is loop up that single chain. So go into the cap band, grab that top band, and loop it back. Next one, loop it back. Next one, and loop it back. So go ahead and finish your single chains all the way up to the end, and I will be back with you. I am back, and I finished my single chains up the center, and this is what your loom should look like right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work 3 things at once. We're going to work the triangles, and then we're going to do the hexagons, and then we are going to do the starburst. Okay, so center pin, go into your cap band, take your first band that's on top, should be the diagonal to the left, bring it to the left, go into that same pin, grab the next one on top, should be the diagonal that goes to the right. I'm going to drop back down into that cap band, bring that diagonal out into the right, and go in and grab that other diagonal and bring it to the left, to the center. This is what that should look like. Okay, we're going to go in where we just dropped that off. We're going to grab the top band, which should be the diagonal that goes to the left, and we're going to follow that all the way around, straight up, and diagonal to the right. Okay, I'm going to drop back down to here. I'm going to go in there and grab the diagonal that goes, if I can get in there, the diagonal that goes to the right, the band that goes straight up, loop it back to itself, and then the diagonal that goes out and to the left, and then stop right there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the same busy pin here, grab the band that's on the bottom, bring it straight up, and then we're going to just follow this all the way around, grabbing that diagonal that goes down to the right, the diagonal that goes up to the right, the band that goes straight up, looping it back to itself, the band that goes diagonal and to the left, and then the band that goes diagonal down to the left. Okay, I'm wondering if I should go through that one more time with you. Okay, I'll go through it one more time with you. So we're going to go back up here to the top of your cap band. You have the diagonal. We're going to loop that back to itself. First one goes to the left. Did I get it? It's kind of tight. Nope, I grabbed the wrong one. All right, let's put that back in there and give it a little, it's pretty tight because I'm using these LE bands, so excuse me. All right, so then we're going to go in there, and I'm actually going to go over to the side and loop that back to itself. Go into that same pin, finish off that part of the diamond, drop down, grab this one, loop it out to the right, go into that same pin and grab the diagonal that goes to the left. Okay, make sure you push your bands down. Like I said, they're pretty tight in there. Now we're going to do the hexagon. I'll do one side first and then the other. Go in, grab the band that's on top, loop it diagonally to the left. The next band will go straight up, and your next band will go diagonally to the right, and you will stop there. You'll drop back down and do the other side of that hexagon. You can get in there, make sure you go through all the bands. Diagonal to the right, straight up, and then diagonal to the left, and then stop right there. Okay, we're going to drop down to the bottom of this starburst. Grab that band, loop it up to the center, go into that pin and loop everything back out to itself. Diagonal down, diagonal up, oops, caught me, straight up, diagonal to the left, and diagonal to the right. So go ahead and finish that up, and I will be back with you when I finish all of mine. Rewind if you have to. Yep, and I'll see you back here shortly. Right, so I am back, and the last thing I did was I did this diamond that was here. I did the hexagon up to the border, and then I looped up the starburst. This one went up, and then everything else went out. Okay, and this is what your loom should look like. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to grab the border band, and it's going to be tight for me, I can already tell. I guess it wasn't too bad. And loop it back. We'll do that on both sides. And then loop that back to itself. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the second pin bar, into the cap band, and loop that diagonal back to itself, like so. We'll do that on both sides too this time. Usually I do one side and then the other, but because this is a little bit different here, excuse me, I want to make sure we get this bottom piece right. Okay, so second pin bar, you're going to go in and you're going to grab that cap band. I'm sorry, go in through the cap band and all the bands and grab the border band and loop it back to itself. And do that on both sides. Okay. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to go in, go back over to this side, going to grab that cap band and loop it straight up. And we'll do that on both sides. And after this initial one, then I'll just do everything singularly. Okay. And then from there, what we're going to do is we are going to go in. We'll be working from this pin. Whenever we do these crossbars, we're working from this pin. You're going to go in, grab that cross band, and loop it out. We'll go over to the other side, grab that cross band, and loop it out. Okay, and then from here on, it's pretty easy. Okay, so I'm going to go a second pin bar, going to grab that diagonal, loop it back to itself, go in, grab the border band, and loop it straight up. Okay, I'm going to do that again. I'll do that with you a couple of times. I'm going to go into the second pin bar, grabbing that cross band, looping it back to itself, go into that same pin, grab that diagonal, loop it out to the left, drop down and grab that border band and loop it straight up. I'll do this with you one more time. Second pin bar, you're going to go in and grab that cross band and loop it out to the border. Go into that same pin, grab that diagonal, loop it back to itself, drop down, grab the border band and loop it. Oh, I broke the band. Easy enough to fix. Let's see, where are they? need to grab a band. May as well do it while we're here. Okay, so I know that this is the band right here, and it has to be on top of this border band right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these bands that are on this pin. I'm going to hook this and bring it up and hook it back on. Okay, and then actually I'm going to pull this one off. Come on. I knew that was way too tight. All right, and I'm going to toss that to the side. Now we know that this is a border band, so this band has got to catch everything. So I'm just going to go in, attach it, and loop it around. So again, it's still kind of tight in there, and up. Okay. All right. So we're going to go over to the other side. We have looped this already, so we're going to go in, grab that diagonal band, loop it back to itself, drop down, grab the border band, and loop it straight up. Going over into the fourth pin bar, you're going to go in, grab that cross band, in my case it's green, loop it out to the right, go in that same pin, grab that last band that's on there and loop it up into itself, drop down, grab that border band, and I'm going to be careful this time, and loop it up. I'll do that with you one more time. Fourth pin bar, going to go in, grab that cross band, loop it back to itself, to the border, go into that same pin, grab that diagonal, loop it back, and then drop down, grabbing that border band. Again, I'm going to use my fingers to pull it because I know it's tight, and attach. So do that all the way up to the end of the loom. I will be back with you when I've finished mine. When we get to the top here, and everything, once you do these, you'll go in, loop this one back to the outside, go in here, loop that one back to itself, bring the drop down and grab that border band, and then just loop all your border bands up, and then attach your closure band to everything. Okay, so I'm going to finish mine, and I will be back as soon as I'm done. Okay. Alrighty, so I am back, and the last thing I did here was I brought this green out, the white up, and then the border. Oh, goodness, and there's a furry hair in there. What happens when you have animals. And then I brought this, your borders back to the center here, and the same thing on the other side here. And, well, looks like I'm going to have to use a C-clips because I can't find my other clips right now. So let me open this. Sorry for the noise. C-clips and I just don't get along. I always have a problem putting them on. So anyway, we laid this closure band here if you did what I did. Otherwise, you'll just go through, grab a band, bring it up and over like so, and then I'm going to pull this with my fingers because it's a little snug in there. Okay, and then put your C-clip on and watch me struggle, maybe. Oh, look at that, went right on. I complain about it, I can do it. So you want to make sure that that is nice and snug in there and has caught all of your bands. And I've already taken most of this off, so I find that with this, it's better to take off the sides one at a time, one on one side, and then come and grab that center. It just comes off a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to take all of this off of here, and then come up with the final bracelet. Now, I must be having problems with my colors. I now wish I had not used the black, but I'm sure that you will come up with some awesome colors schemes for this. It's very, very pretty. I'm going to take this off here and move this to the side. So this is what the signature side looks like. Turned out pretty. Again, you know, maybe not so much the black, or if I had done this part right here in the black, then it would have encased the Starburst. But it still turned out very nice. I do like it in the LEs. not very much straightening to do, if any at all. So this is your signature side. The ones with the bands going across here is your signature side. And this is your other side, and you can certainly wear it both ways. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a gorgeous design, very easy design. Let's check the size on this. Let's back away a little bit so you don't have to see my huge wrist. This is for my sister who had breast cancer. She is a 20-year survivor, God bless her. At 34, she had cancer. So I took this all the way to the top, and evidently it doesn't really matter if you're using the tight bands or the thinner bands, because I believe this is the same size as the other one. I do like them a little bit smaller so I can add the clasp, but you can hook that C-clip on there and it should be perfect. It's my wrist is 6.5 inches long. Very pretty bracelet. Very, very pretty. Goodness me, I just love it. So, oh, excuse me, I'll be right back about that. My sister came in. Anyway, this is Wish Upon a Star by the Looming Artist. Andrea is on Instagram under the Looming Artist. So go over and give her a follow. She has some gorgeous, gorgeous designs like her designs. And yeah, give her a follow for me. I am on Instagram also under Lila's Gigi, same as on YouTube. So you can, you know, pull these out a little bit if you like to give them, make them stand up a little bit more. Yes. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a follow on YouTube. I would love to have you follow me so you can do some of the creations. I don't do a lot of designing. I have done some designing, but I do love to do other people's designs. Again, you know, I had a little bit of issues with my colors. I'm not so particularly fond of the black in here, but it still turned out very, very pretty. It's a gorgeous design, front and back. Alrighty, so thank you so very much for watching. As always, be kind and take care. We'll see you at the next one.